Hello, 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 Radical Songwriters. It's Rosie here, and welcome back to Be Radical Make Music. Whether you're watching me on YouTube or you're over on the podcast, you're welcome here. This is a space for you. And today I want to talk about slowing down. I want to talk about shifting seasons in your art and in your action that you're taking and what that might mean for you. And I've got some really good questions to ask that might help if you're in a space right now where you feel a bit stuck in a rut or things just feel like they're a little bit stale. It might just be a season. So let's get into it. Recently, I just completed a 5-day workshop. So I was teaching 5 days, 5 workshops. There was over 100 songwriters in there, and every day we were showing up and we were getting to work, and it was intense. It was so intense. It was amazing. And because of that intensity, to use intensity as a tool, that intensity meant loads of people were having these breakthroughs, and they were really feeling the energy, and they were really present, and there was a lot of excitement around music. And for some people, that excitement is enough. It's enough to reconnect. After years, months, weeks of being stuck in your head, just beating yourself up for not doing it, you get someone like me come into your life and say, right, come on board. We're going to get this done. We're going to do it together. We're going to share the experience. It's going to be awesome. Let's go. Who's ready? And I see that as my job, right? Well, it is my job. My job is to guide, support, mentor, motivate, and then hold space. Right? So there's a lot of that masculine, like push that stuff out energy, let's get going. And I love that energy. I'm all about that. And then there's the holding space for songwriters to be able to explore. And it's wonderful, but we can't be that intense all the time. We just can't. It's if we fall into the trap of believing that things like productivity are more important than being happy, or when productivity equals everything. And if you're not being productive, then you're not being. And for a lot of songwriters, there's a lot of pain under that because they truly have internalized it. So I want to talk about a comment that was left in the workshop that I can't stop thinking about it. And I want to address it here because I think for you in the community, I think this is going to really resonate. And the comment was, how do I get over the feeling that making my music is a vanity project because it's not making me money? And when I read that, my whole body shifted, and I felt so many feelings. I felt angry, and I didn't feel angry at the person, but I felt angry at the fact that that's how so many people feel. And I know where it comes from, and I can see why people feel like that. And they spend so much of their life trapped, not doing the things they want to do, feeling lost, feeling like they're just floating about in the wind, having this pull to music and songwriting, and just I've got these songs inside me. I just need to get them out. And that's the beautiful thing about being a songwriter. It's not like writing a film or a book, or you can write a song really quickly, and you can get that out really quickly, and you can have a whole universe and a whole world in one song. And for people to be able to deny themselves that opportunity to not only just self-reflect using their songwriting and self-express, but then to also hold that all back from sharing it, from anyone else hearing it, from being able to say, hey, this is my story, this is what I sound like, and allowing people to be attracted to that, like that really hurts. And so I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And we've been made to believe that making music and writing songs and spending that time doing that is a luxury. It's not a luxury. It's a right. You have a right to make music. You have a right to express yourself. You have a right to make art. Your ancestors were doing this way before anybody considered the concept of money. They were making music not for vanity. I don't even know if that concept existed way back then. And so when you're looking at this experience of, right, I've got these songs in me, but I've got this brick wall because I feel so ashamed and I feel so guilty, then that is what needs to be addressed before you're going to have this freedom in being able to write. Now, the beautiful thing about songwriting and what I love so much about it is you can use songwriting to address that, right? It's like, and I see this in my workshops, it's not just an idea, like this is what I do in these workshops, is we're going to look at all of these narratives that we feel have been getting in the way of us making music. We're going to write songs about the narratives. We're going to use the narratives to inspire our work. And we're going to use our own work to be able to open up the pathways towards making more work. And it is a fucking beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know if I can swear on YouTube. But so that's intense. All of that. That's intense. And so let's look at now. I like this idea of drawing a line in time and starting the transition over to something that's less intense and maybe more consistent. Intensity, it's very difficult to be consistent. And why would you want to? Why would you want to do that to yourself and be consistently intense? You're going to burn out. You're going to hate your life. You're going to hate music. You're going to just not want to do it. Believe me, I've done it. And I'm sure a lot of you have done it either in music or other parts of your life. But we want to move from intensity to beautiful consistency, slow consistency, the day-to-day, moment-to-moment consistency that we can have when we integrate music and song and art into our day-to-day life. And so the programs that I run, where I've got things like, for example, authentic songwriting, 5 days, intense, full-on, breakthroughs, let's do this, yes. And then I've got Radical Songwriting Academy, which is open right now. The doors are open if you're seeing this when I make it. And the doors close on the 5th of October. And that's 8 weeks long. The intensity level, boom, so much lower. And because the intensity is lower, the depth of the experience is higher. Because the intensity is lower, the shifts that will happen will be more profound. Because you have time to reflect on them and integrate them and consider them and actually witness them. Inside the 5-day workshop, you feel them, it's so visceral. And inside the academy, it's this beautiful slow burn where you are just like forming a relationship with your music. It's like dating your music versus going out there and just meeting a bunch of people, being on the apps. The academy is like, we've chosen this now. We have chosen this. We are considering this, and you are inside a strategic program that is also delivered to you with the same amount of facilitation and support and space as the other programs that I run, because that is my job. And I realised over the years that the things that change our songwriting, it's not always learning the ins and outs of the craft. And I would put it out there that everybody can write a song. You like music, you've heard songs, you can write a song. Whether you like that or not does not matter. It's a possibility that's very high. And if I teach you things about melody, how to write chords, how to do rhythm, all the ins and outs, like you get inside the academy, brilliant. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get better at writing songs. Great. And songwriting is a craft. Music is a craft, an art form that really does have this theoretical side to it that can be really dry and boring. But learning the theoretical side through writing songs, you can start to feel those shifts. So, but like I said, I don't believe that that's actually what moves the needle on you showing up for your music and actually feeling like fulfilled and happy and feeling like an artist. I think it's really important that we feel like an artist at the end of the day for us. So instead, what I realised is the academy is actually more about the space I can hold for you as a songwriter, the encouragement I can give, but also the mindset work that we can all dive into together, and we can all help each other with this stuff. being able to really see where society ends and you begin, and that you are part of this big system that has affected you over your life. But internally, you are a universe unto yourself, doesn't have systems placed upon it. And that's where we make art from. It's in there. It might be reflecting what we were seeing, it might be part of that, it might be triggered by that, but it comes from there. And that's what happens in Radical Songwriting Academy. And I'm so proud of this program. I'm so, so proud. I'm so happy that I started it. I didn't know any of this was going to happen when I started it 2 years ago. So, for anyone who has recently been thinking, I'm stuck in one place, or does it have to be this intense all the time? Or maybe you're in the opposite end of the spectrum where you're thinking, you feel really apathetic. That's really common. Ugh, who cares? Ugh, can't be bothered. And there's just no energy spark, then something like the Academy might be for you. It might be for you. But being able to find that support and have some help with this, it's really hard for us to do on our own. That's why so many people offer these beautiful memberships and courses and spaces. I studied music at university, and I can't say my experience was particularly enjoyable when I look back. I felt like I just had to do what's told, and to put my art form into that structure at times without any consideration on, like, if I was getting feedback on songs, my lecturer really wasn't considering how is this going to make her feel. And then to think, it's almost like tough love. That's what I got at university. It doesn't work. I don't think it works for many people. A wee bit of tough love now and then, which is sometimes just telling the truth, but to be able to go through an exploration of your creativity and your art with someone in a space that is safe and warm and opening and welcoming, and you can get to work, we need more of those spaces. We don't have enough of those spaces, not just for music, but so many things. We just don't have enough of those spaces. We go to school, and by doing so, yes, we're lucky we can have educations. For those of us who had them, yes. But at what cost? And what type of education? Because on the other side, I am working with songwriters in the academy who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they are still telling me stories about how since they were 12 or 13, they've never been able to get over the fact their music teacher said this one thing to them and humiliated them in the classroom, or that their piano teacher never allowed them to express themselves on the piano, even though that's clearly what they wanted to do. Just people telling me stories about really traumatic things happening when they were children when it comes to music. And so the academy is an option that I really feel is a balm and like a sort of way to soothe whatever those experiences have been, so that they can start to heal, so that you can start to build more positive experiences, so that you can start to feel like you can do this, you can write songs, you can give yourself a challenge and show up to the plate and do it. You can. And it's in a place that has no huge consequence, like school. That's the problem with school. It's consequential. If you do it wrong, quote unquote, or you do it bad, there's a consequence. And every adult will tell us that. So, dear songwriter, I'm just going to wrap up by inviting you to consider where you're at right now in terms of your season of creativity. Are you in a period that's pretty intense? Is it spring? Is it summer? Are you seeing a lot of the fruits of your labour? You know, are things growing? Or are you in the autumn and the winter? Are things starting to come down? For me, I'm in an autumn and a winter phase, and I'm going to start planting the seeds now for my spring and summer. And I am actually in that phase it just so happens to be in the environment too, in Spain, Where I live, we're coming into autumn here. And so my creativity is coming into autumn, where I'm considering what can I shut down, what can I pull back on, so that I can really plant those seeds. Because when it comes to spring and summer, I really want to be, reaping the fruits, picking the fruits, which for me looks like new songs, new recorded songs in particular. I'm moving towards my album being released. So where are you right now? Where are you? What season are you in? And then what season is coming next? If you are looking for more support, if you have worked with me before and you want to work with me even more and deeper, then come and join us inside Radical Songwriting Academy. The doors are open now and they close on the 5th of October 2023. So at the time of recording, that's a week from now. I'm so proud of this programme. We've got a bunch of students enrolled already and we get started on the 9th of October. I am moving house, which is why everything's very bare behind me. I'm literally moving house in 2 days, which is a beautiful mark of my season to transition into a space that I've got more space, more freedom, more opportunity. I can breathe again. I feel like for the last year and a half, I've been living in other people's spaces and other people's nests and other people's caves and other people's owned experience, and I've really struggled to find my part of that because it's not. And now it feels like the last year and a half has been leading up to now, so that's another season that's changing for me. And my music and my art, guess what? It's going to change. And the same for you. Wherever your music and art is right now, whatever season you're in right now, when things in your environment change, it's going to affect it because you're part of it. You are not just part of your own environment, but you're part of everyone else's environment. So that's the question for today. Where are you? What season are you in? And if you have been, like me, going at it quite hard recently, then I invite you to draw a line in time and slow down. And slow down a little bit and start pulling back and letting those leaves drop and just surveying the landscape and deciding, where am I going to plant the seeds? What seeds am I going to plant for the next season that is going to come ahead? Dear songwriters, thank you so much for watching and for listening. I love this community. I love it. I'm on a high after an intense 5 days. I'm in awe of the bravery of people showing up after fucking years of pain and actually doing it. And even if you've not had years of pain and it's not that intense for you and it's not that dramatic, just showing up for your songs. This is called Be Radical, Make Music, because writing music is a radical act. The choice to make art instead of make money or instead of make someone else money. Now, please don't get me wrong, you can make money from your music, but you know what I mean? When you show up for your songwriting, and that's what I care about, that part, that's the main part I care about, then beautiful things happen. Beautiful things happen internally and externally. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, week, month. Draw that line in time. Ask yourself those questions. Consider what's coming up, what's just happened, what season you're going into next, and allow yourself to slow down if that is what you need. It's okay. And if you're wanting more guidance, come and join us in Radical Songwriting Academy. It's 8 weeks. You're going to be with me every week. You've got an amazing 6-module course, a beautiful community, live sessions, songwriting exercises. You'll be writing loads of songs and just beautiful experiences. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. So if I don't see you in there though, I will see you back here, and just keep going. Whatever it is that you're doing, you've got this. I totally believe in you. You've got this. Loads and loads of love, and I'll see you soon.